My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, I'd like to mention to start this video out that I got a little cold from getting wet and got my shirt all wet from working in that dish room at work, so when I took it off, decided instead of putting another one on to put on my pullover, and decided that that would kind of be a great way to go for a video here. And what else we have to share and say today? I'll mention to you that I got a request today through Instagram to somebody who saw my Cardinal post about maybe making a Greek cheek conure for him, so that's going to probably be one of my bird projects to come around sooner or later. I'll be getting around to that when I can, hopefully, but this time around I wanted to show a few more steps as far as how the Cardinal goes. You see, we kind of got to where there's the sides of the head, so before we can really take care of the beak part, we've got to kind of work on the head here a little bit and try to get it into a little bit of a better, good shape for what we have, I say, and just kind of work our way along in it to maybe make it so we're going to see good little cardinal birds come out. And I say that there's so much we learn and so much we do. Always had wondered at times whether if between the cardinal bird and the cardinal position in the papacy, if there ever really was a connection between the names, because you know, you think of one and you think of the other as well, so it'll get kind of strange sometimes, because it's almost kind of like, you know, there's a bat as an animal and a bat as a baseball bat. And I think about how it just was when I was in kindergarten, when we were learning about words and words that started with letters, and when the teacher was on the letter B and she was asking students to give words, one student said a baseball bat, so she drew bat and wrote bat and drew a baseball bat. Then I just raised my hand and said bat, meaning like an animal. She said, I already have a bat, but would you like me to draw a bat as in an animal? I said yes. So she wrote that on there again, and she drew the one in an animal. See, most boys were interested in baseball, but I was always interested in animals, so that was kind of how those interests came about. You see here, we kind of got to get down around to where we finally will make out the cardinal's little beak, I say, and kind of put a little motion into the character of the movement, and then kind of try to measure it down so it's going to be a little bit of a nice little thing, I say, and you know, just narrow down the little bill. And for all this work, I say, this is just kind of one of them things we just do just for a little fun and enjoyment in life. that's kind of the reason I carve things like I do, just to kind of try to see a little good, gracious little piece come out of them. And I tell you, I forget who all these artists are who I order stuff off of from Etsy, but just recently ordered a print of a bear and a print of a fox, and just got notification in my email that those have shipped as well. And I know that sometimes there can be times people can kind of have busy lives and they won't always kind of get things done fast, but some point or another, it's just something that they'll kind of get around to doing here and there. And I say, for a little good happiness and work in our lives, we all make it somewhere. And as for how this is going, it's coming along just fine. I say that this little carving work shall measure up to be what it can come to be when we all just get things a little more done here. I'd say when it comes down about to it, we're going to start carving down here. Down here, I say, among the sides of the breast, and try to get a little more leverage in the knife so it comes a longer way. It's kind of a shame how here there's something I keep losing here. I keep on, losing my thumb guard now and then. It's probably going to be time sooner or later that we get out some more of that elastic bandage that I used to make them and try to make some more. I kind of figured that out a little bit on my own, but found out whenever I was back at one of my Woodcarvers Club meetings that one of those guys there was doing that as well. It's the kind of bandage you get at Tractor Supply and Company. I always liked it, and how I got introduced to it was whenever I kind of had a little injury with my thumb on the bandsaw. We kind of went down there to Tractor Supply to get that stuff, and always liked the black color of it, so all the different nice little colors you can get it in. It's mainly probably designed the way it is for bandaging up horse legs, but that's just probably the one thing I go down there to shop for if I ever go there to shop. I know a lot of people who do a lot of farm stuff and tractors and things like that where they work with and feed many more animals, but I tell y'all, I'm not a farmer. Couldn't really handle all the responsibility of assuming one. I know people who grew up on farms, and I've even followed a time or two on social media that Amber Marshall actress who acts in the TV show Heartland. And, even in real life as a person, she knows a lot about how to train horses and how to keep things on a farm. So in that little series show, she can most certainly act out a character who can do it. And I say that there were times when, of all characters we lost in the show, I still remember kind of like the time when they lost Ty. And the only time I've really watched the show was whenever my mama had it on in the living room, and I never really sit down to watch TV myself much or know much about what's on TV, but will say that some of this stuff I've even learned about it just through reading the internet. I tell you that this is how we come along. We're coming around where we can get down to the very beak of the body, and I say, just add in the little special amount of work we're going to need just to add this all up, make it so it's going to be a nice little cardinal to come out for our benefit. And around here between the lower part of the neck and the beak, carve around a little more, do a little more work inside, and kind of see how this little object of grace, as we call it, shall kind of measure up to a little more good. I say that we kind of got the work done here nowadays, and you know, you'll be seeing a video explaining this show up to YouTube later, but even in some of my reels, the ones that have already been posted to Instagram and Facebook that will be posted here in probably about a couple of weeks. And I tell you, to that matter, probably going to be that long before this video is posted. Those reels and shorts will be up there by the time this video goes up. But what I need to say is that it's just something where I've been adding different sounds to my reels using some music that years ago I recorded myself, because if they have the sound on them that they get like on Instagram or something, then you can't take that sound and, let's say, upload it to YouTube. So it's like that is kind of the reason why I started just using like my own little recordings of music that I did. And now we're coming down to where we get on the wings, and I say for what we got here, we've come quite a long way. I'll tell you all more as we move along, but probably getting about time to end here. And I'd say there's going to be a reel of this little carving session coming out a little bit sooner or later. So I wish you all the best. Pray for you all, and ask that you all will always and forever keep in touch. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.